EDO Governorship Election and Obedient Movement Virtual Town Hall Discussion Series. Tonight, we have two guest speakers. We have Dr. Mashido Osamudiamen Eghaghe, a former LP chairman candidate for Ikpoba-Okha local government in Edo State. And also we have in the house Comrade Joseph Enan Maigari. Comrade Joseph is a Northeast Zonal Coordinator for the Coalition for Peter Obi Monitoring and Evaluation. Gentlemen, you are welcome to this discussion.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you for coming. So we'll begin the discussion immediately. This series is being recorded and streamed live on our EDM TV, YouTube television. At this point, I will call on the anchorman, Mr. Elvis Brown, to continue from here. Mr. Elvis Brown, can you hear me? Elvis Brown, are you there? Mr. Elvis Brown.
He's having issues with his mic.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yes, Elvis Brown, please go ahead. The discussion series is already in progress.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, Comrade Maigari, I would like to begin with you. Is that okay, sir?
Go ahead, sir. I'm with you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll give you the first question here so that we can begin the conversation. I would like to know, you already understand the topic of discussion this evening. So what's the difference between building a nation and building a political party? Now, can these two activities be separated from each other?
Thank you very much, Comrade Mavis. I want to deeply appreciate you for this opportunity given to me this evening. I will not take it for granted. And I believe everybody here knew my name. My name is Comrade Joseph Enan Maigari. In this evening platform of discussion that the difference between building a nation and building a political party. And these two activities is separate from each other. I want to begin to say nation building is a concept that means different things to different people. Because if you are doing the same thing, which means you are not building the nation. But when you are doing the different things and different people doing different things, that means it is about the nation. It is not by self. The latest essentially that nation building program are those in which dysfunctional or unstable or failed state or economies are giving assistance. You know, some country today, a nation, if we cannot get assistance, that is economic in the nation, in the development of government infrastructure like infrastructure, civil society, dispute resolution mechanism, as well as economic assistance in order to increase the stability. nation building generally assume that someone or something is doing the building internationally. That means we need to involve in building it so that everybody will involve in the nation building, so that you are doing the different things, I doing the different things. It is about a nation. It is not about self-building. Therefore, I want to really say that nation building can be defined as the use of an armed force in the conflict to undermine or to understand that an enduring transition to democracy. Because the contempt today have taken the dimension that the one example of the contempt today, they are taking the strategic focus sensitive to make sure that the nation.
Comrade Maigari, are you there, sir? Okay, I think we have lost Comrade Maigari, but can we hear me, sir? Can we hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. We can hear you.
Okay.
We can hear you, Elvis, but I think we have lost Comrade Joseph. Perhaps Dr. Mashido will take it up from there until he can come in.
Thank you, guys.
Network, I'm very sorry. I'm back. I am very sorry. Comrade in the house, I'm very sorry. So what is a nation? I don't know whether I lost my voice, that whether nation building can be imposed from outside is on the central question. Is a central question that you are asking me now in this field, and whether that can be done by the military is a other part of the question. So I want to say that, so what is the...
No, the question, Comrade Maigari.
I can hear you.
Comrade Maigari, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yeah, it is the question. The question is whether or not nation building and political party building are two different entities altogether.
Okay.
Do you understand the question? If building a nation and building a political party can actually work, can you build the nation without building the political party, or can you build the party without building a nation? Are they different?
Yes, they are quite different. Building, I understand that to understand the concept of nation building, one need to have some definition of what nation is. Early of a nation defined it is as group. That is the nation. I want to define a group for you, the nation for you. It is as a group or race of people who share history, tradition, and culture or religions, and usually language. That is the nation. But politically, you know, everybody in this country
I think we have lost Comrade Maigari again. Let me go to Comrade Mashido. Is that okay? Comrade Mashido.
I'm here. Thank you, gentlemen, for this honor to be part of this very important conversation, political party building and nation building. If
call that coming in, I'm very sorry. Call.
Should I go ahead or he wants to continue?
Call. I want to receive this so that I want to receive this call so that I can prove with him.
Okay. Thank you. So it's a very, it's a dynamic topic. If we can distinguish between a political party building and nation building, I don't think we can. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, please go ahead, sir.
All right, okay, so I don't think we can. These two things kind of intertwine. Both of them intertwine. We cannot separate them. If we don't have a good political structure, there is no way we can have a good country. So before I dive into it and explain further, please allow me to read a note which I have taken down on political building, and also a note on nation building. So reading out this note will kind of give us the preamble of what I am going to explain in depth. First, political party building refers to the process of creating, strengthening, and maintaining the political party's infrastructure, ideology, and membership. It involves defining the party's vision, mission, and values, developing a clear political ideology and policy platform, building a strong leadership and organizational structure, recruiting and engaging members and supporters, establishing effective communication and outreach channels, developing fundraising and resource mobilization strategies, building alliances and coalition with other political groups and stakeholders, strengthening the party's presence at the local, state, and national levels, developing capacity building programs for party members and leaders, encouraging internal and participatory decision-making process. The goal of political party building is to create a robust, inclusive, and accountable political organization that can effectively represent the interests of its members and the broader electorate, and ultimately govern in a responsible and responsive manner. So this is where we are actually missing the points. In Nigeria, we don't have a strong institution when it comes to political parties. If you look at the three major political parties in Nigeria today, the APC, the Labour Party, and the PDP, there is no ideology. There is nothing distinguishing these three political parties. So for the interest of those who are just joining us, I will be sharing my notes with the convener of the show so that we all can have access to what I just read out instead of me going back and forth in it, so you can do further research on them. So all the three political parties or platforms we have in Nigeria have no ideology. Because they have no ideology, the reason you just see an individual from one party can easily just cross to the other party and boom. So if we want a better nation, we must first concentrate on political party building. The political party building must have an ideology. That ideology must also align with their candidates. So people cannot just come in from, how do they call it? Tom, Dick, and Harry can just come in and say, hey, I want to run for public office. This is not how things work. Now, let me take us to the United States of America, where we have two major political parties, the Democrat and the Republican. They have two distinctive ideas. The ideologies are different. For instance, the Republican refer to conservative. Conservative means that they want a smaller government. They don't want big government. They kind of want things to stay the same way, the way it was. They don't believe in all these gay rights. They don't believe in women having access to abortion, making decisions for their own self. They don't believe in immigrants coming into America. So that is Republican. You can just get their viewpoint. They abide to the Constitution, what the Constitution say, like gun rights and all that. On the other hand, the Democratic Party has become an activist party. They want bigger government. Let government take off everything. Basic amenities. If you are suffering, government have a safety net for you. Come, we will give you money. You want to expand your business, come, we will give you this. LGBTQ, gay, blah, 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 we are going to give you rights. Oh, women, you should have access to abortion. So everything opposite of what the Republican stands for is what the Democrat stands for. So that is the ideology. So for individuals in the United States to now pitch a tent with any of these two political parties, they first of all sit down, analyze themselves, say, okay, what do I really believe in? Do I believe in the ideologies of Democrats, or the Democrats' ideology, does it align with mine? If it does, they go to the Democratic Party and pitch their tent there and contest election there. Then there is another political party called the Independent Party, which I'm a registered member of. These are the independent ideology is the Democrat is too extreme, the Republican is too extreme. I sometimes like what the Democrat is doing. I sometimes like what the Republican is doing. Hence, both of them are too extreme. I'm going to stay in the middle. I can either vote here or vote there. So that is the ideology of the independent party in the US. Now that we've understood how the American political party structures are built and how it helps the citizen, now let's contrast it to the Nigeria political system. Or do we have a political system in Nigeria? PDP, lack of ideology. I don't know what the ideology is, but they have a constitution. APC, do they have ideology? No, they don't, but they also have a constitution. The LP, they also have a constitution. So because we don't have a strong political ideology, a strong political institution, that is why we see the political parties cannot produce candidates that can address the socio-economic problems of Nigeria. So now that I've elaborated on the political platform, so now let me read notes on nation building. Then before I now elaborate on how both of them intertwine, then we take some questions. Nation building in Nigeria refers to the process of creating a stable, unified, and prosperous country where all citizens feel a sense of belonging and are able to strive. It involves addressing the country's complex challenges such as ethnic and religious division, political instability, economic inequality, corruption, inadequate infrastructure, limited access to education and healthcare. Nation building in Nigeria requires promoting nation unity and social cohesion, strengthening democratic institutions and governance, encouraging economic growth and development, improving education and healthcare outcomes, addressing environmental and resource management challenges, fostering a culture of accountability and transparency. In a collective responsibility that requires the active participation of citizens, civil society organizations, the private sector, and the government institution working together to build a better future for all Nigerians. So that is nation building. Nation building is a collective effort. It's not just the responsibility of the government alone to build a nation. It involves relevant stakeholders like civil society organizations, student union, yourself and myself, market women, laborers, and all that. Everybody must join hands together. But we cannot address the issue of nation building if we don't have a strong political structure where the best of the best candidates emerge. Today in Nigeria, however, the worst of the candidates emerge because we believe in money politics. Whoever has the biggest bank account win party nominations, or whoever the godfather chooses wins the party nomination. I think it's actually two things. Whoever the godfather chooses and has the deepest pocket wins the nomination. When this individual emerge, we see recently a gubernatorial candidate could not proficiently articulate himself in a national TV. And this candidate did not just come out of the woods. He has been a politician for a very long time, and he was not contesting. He didn't contest as a councillor on the grassroots level. Actually, a serving senator could not proficiently articulate himself. So these are the products of a godfather, and these are the products of a deep pocket. So when these people with money bag finally find their way into governance, they don't know what to do. They can't know what to do because they never learned anything and they have nothing to give in the process. So for we to get it right in Nigeria, first, we must concentrate on political party building first and make sure that the ideologies of the party, the foundation of the party, the constitution of the party on which the party was built upon is being followed and respected by all the members of the party, especially the candidates, or this time let me use the word aspirants, especially the aspirants that are aspiring to elective positions. They must be scrutinized. We must scrutinize in what are their backgrounds, what are their educational backgrounds, how did these aspirants go to school, were examination written for them, which is actually a very common place in Nigeria, where someone register for SSC, WACS, or GC, then another individual goes into the examination hall and writes an examination. Was this individual engaged in examination malpractices? When this individual was in the university, was he engaging in blocking? So the political party, which is at the base level, should be able to do a thorough investigation before a candidate is presented. But we are not doing that. We are only today focused on money, self-interest, what is going into my pocket right now. You see this last primaries election in Edo State, several of the leading three political parties, national chairmen, were accused of taking up to 2.1 billion naira in order for them to support a certain candidate. Some were accused of asking for 1 billion naira. Another one, over 2 billion naira. So this is where we usually get it wrong. I just make mention of the national chairman. I have not even spoken about the leaders of the party at the base level, from the local level to the state level and to the national level. Each of these aspirants have to give them something: money, vehicles. Some of them will say, hey, I'm renovating my house. You came to my house that day, now you see and say they do renovation. Now X was the amount of money I need. Please, I need your support. The aspirants will give them money to complete the renovation of their houses. As a candidate myself, I have went through all this. I saw these things. I know how these things work, so I can attest to these things myself. I was even asked to fix vehicles. Say, oh, that you see that my car, the age is spoiled, I bet you fit just help me put age in. The other one say, oh, my transmission spoiled, I bet you fit just help me put transmission. So these are not these are not political building. These are just self-interest. And these are the things that an aspirant will go through to become a candidate. When an aspirant becomes a candidate, he already understands how the system works, that I have to coerce the leadership of the party in order for me to get here. Now that I'm here, I have to spend even more to get the electorate elect me. So this is why I keep saying both of them intertwine. Then once this candidate wins election and gets to the office, guess what? He has to recuperate his money back with interest. And that is where we are in Nigeria today, that the country is not moving forward. Instead of moving forward, we are actually regressing, going backwards. So to summarize it, for us to get it right, we must first of all concentrate all our attention in political party buildings and make sure that the best candidate emerges without our own selfish interest, and making sure that the candidate doesn't have to spend a hell of money, borrow money, sell his or her properties in order to emerge. Only then we can begin to have good candidates who will in turn address our critical basic ailing infrastructure in the country. Thank you so much. I will take questions.
Thank you very much, sir. That was highly enlightening. I had to let you go through all that explanation because it is detailed. But I want to ask you quickly, we have a situation in Nigeria where a particular governor in Benue State, to be precise, is being forced by his political leaders to bring in the revenue for them to share. The man is crying that his life is at stake because he's not bringing out the money. So this can be said to be hampering development in that state. So the question is, does political parties' ideology hamper nation building? The ideology of political parties, can we say the way this party is structured is likely not going to be able to develop the nation. So this is the question I want you to help us.
Thank you. Well, let me rephrase that question. Let me use the word lack of political ideology or lack of implementation of political ideology can hamper nation building. Yes, empirically, yes. It would hamper nation building. So the perfect case study is the Benue that you just mentioned, that the leaders of the party are saying, oh no, don't work, just give us the money. Because the governor cried out, so that is why we all got to know about this. Similar incident happened in Lagos many years ago. Ambode was a very productive governor. Even it was in the dailies that Ambode, I think Tinubu made that statement then. Ambode is, I think, let me paraphrase, I can't remember it exactly. Ambode is a good man, but he's not a party man, something like that. So if it's not a party man means that it's not bringing the bacon home to the party. It's not servicing the leaders of the party. Today, in all political parties, we always hear this word like, are you going to carry the party along? In Edo State, for instance, during the first tenure of Governor Obaseki, that was his problem. He was always saying that, oh, the party say I'm not carrying them along and all that. Yes, the lack of political parties ideology can hamper nation building. And any sitting governor, any sitting person who have already won a political office, who is unwilling to do the right thing, who is willing to do the right thing this time, and unwilling to service the leaders of the party, will most likely not get re-elected. So that is actually where we find ourselves in Nigeria. These political leaders, perfect case study, Benue that you just mentioned, are only interested in their own selfish interest. They see politics as an employment opportunity. They see politics as this opportunity that we have won election, is my turn to get rich. I don't want to miss this opportunity. But what they are not understanding is that everybody in Nigeria suffers, regardless of who you are. We all drive on the same roads. We all face the insecurity challenges in the country, the soaring food prices, the electrical problems, the medical problems, everything. So everybody suffers in that country. I think we need to re-educate ourselves right from the grassroots level. The grassroots level, I mean, deep into primary or secondary school, on the need to put self-interest aside and put nation building above all less. Again, let me paraphrase. Political ideology or lack of political ideology can hamper nation building. Thank you. Are we there?
Please go ahead, Sawe.
Yeah, no, I'm just I'm done with that question. I'm waiting for comments or maybe a follow-up question.
All right, thank you. I will allow for questions to come in from the attendants, but I also want to, I don't know if Mr. Maigari is back, but before I want to go check if he's actually back, I want to quickly ask you another question. There's another situation right now in Abia State where the governor within under 1 year has seriously performed so well, and he has said that by the time he's done with his 4 years, we will likely be stoning our governors if we see them on the road. Now, the Edo State election is actually approaching. Do you think these scenarios we see playing out in these states can actually, help in the campaigns? Because it is now becoming clear, like you have established, that, we can't separate the two. You need to build a party to build a nation. So which of the parties now are the people likely going to trust more in terms of these two situations that we have in Nigeria? Benue State, Abia State.
Abia State. Abia State is very glaring why the people should trust Abia State more. Because Abia State is Labour Party. Benue, I think it's PDP, right? Is it PDP or APC? I'm not sure.
APC.
APC, okay. Okay, Benue is APC. So Abia is Labour Alex Oti. The people trust Alex Oti more. I think the reason Alex Oti is performing is very glaring because Labour Party does not have leaders currently in the party that would say don't work, just give us the money. And that is why Labour Party is kind of different from APC and the PDP a little bit. So the ideology of Labour Party now is more geared towards servicing the common interest of the people in whom we sworn to serve. Alex Otin is doing exceedingly well because he doesn't have leaders, he doesn't have godfather. So another thing we must emphasize on is candidates coming through the ranks of godfather. Godfatherism is one of the biggest challenges we have in Nigeria. So the more the electorate fight and resist godfatherism, the better opportunities we have in the country. So now, you make mention of Edo State, that which political party would the people trust more? Labour Party, to be very precise. Barrister Olumide Osaigbovo Akpata is the gubernatorial candidate of Labour. He has no godfather, and he has no godfather. Nobody is funding his campaign. He's an independent candidate within Labour Party. So those are an individual like him. We should be looking at somebody who is self-funding his campaign without no self-interest group that will later come up when he becomes the governor. That will be asking for contracts and on that. In contrast to APC and the PDP in Edo State, the gubernatorial candidate of the PDP is a product of a godfather. He was single-handedly chosen by the sitting governor of Edo State. That is how Dr. Asweni Ighodalo emerges as the PDP candidate. So he represents the status quo. PDP, as we all know, has a lot of party leaders that need to be served, and also has a lot of godfather, not just Governor Baseki alone is the godfather in PDP that Asweni Ighodalo has to answer to. In most local governments in Edo State, there is always a godfather. Ikpoba-Okha has their own, Oredo has their own, Eghaghe has their own. Then in the APC, is also a product of godfather. So we all witnessed how the APC primary happened, where two candidates emerged. I've never seen that before. One coming from the camp of Comrade Aluyo Shumole, and the other coming from the camp of Osamudiamen Iyamu. So for we to get it right in Edo State, so we must put these three political parties on the table and analyze each of these candidates. So if we actually love what we are seeing in Abia State, a governor who is a self-funded candidate who won without godfather and without political leaders, performing exceedingly well beyond our imagination. Then we compare it to the APC and the PDP, which we've known since 1999 on how they operate. So I believe Edo electorates will do the analysis and then make the right choice on September 21st. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I'd like to take questions from the attendees. Let us get a lot of hands have been up. I was trying to take the question to a level before I open it for question. So, Dr. Marshall has been raising his hand to ask question. Is Dr. Marshall still here? I know you dropped some questions on the platform. If you're not here, I could read those ones out quickly for you. Okay, please go ahead.
All right. Thank you. Good evening, Comrade Mashido and Mr. Maigari. It's a very nice pleasure that you're here, and we appreciate the fact that you took your time to make all of us to be aware or be informed of these situations we are having. Basically, yes. So far, we're looking at issues where, like you said, especially Comrade Mashido, the ideology of politicians within the Nigerian scope seem to be very deaf. When I mean deaf, it's like they want to be deliberately ignorant about what is right from the wrong. But as it may, we cannot really just leave them to be doing what they have to do because they have the knife and they have the yam to cut at will. No, they are doing this at the expense of 20 or 200 million people. It's very annoying, at the same time, very disgracing or disgraceful that we allow few people to want to mandate things that are supposed to be corrected by their common sense, because we are in a democratic dispensation. As it may, the questions I want to give actually might just border on issues where we as people or the electorate need to act. Even you as a candidate that was, which I so much appreciate your style, of being a candidate. It's very commendable because I saw, I heard, and I believe what you are capable of doing. But that also still go for the rest of the people or candidates because except they don't have conscience, they want to do otherwise. Now, my first question to you is this. What strategies can parties implement to foster diversity and inclusion with their ranks? That's one. How can parties effectively utilize technology and social media to connect with voters and communicate their messages? That's two. I hope that if I keep asking, it will be too much for you. Now,
please
measures?
Please give me 1 second. Let me actually grab a pen. It's going to be multiple layer of question. Okay, go ahead. One.
Okay. One, what strategies can parties implement to foster diversity and inclusion with their ranks?
Mm-hmm.
Number two, how can parties effectively utilize technology and social media to connect with their voters and communicate their messages? Number three, what measures can parties take to ensure transparency and accountability in their internal process and decision-making? And lastly, how can
could you say
parties,
number three again, please?
what measures can parties take to ensure transparency and accountability in their internal process and decision-making?
Okay.
And finally,
hold on a minute. What measure party can take to? Please repeat number.
To ensure transparency and accountability in their internal processes and decision-making.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. Accountability.
Yes.
Okay. Number four.
And number four, how can parties adapt to changing demographics and societal trends to remain relevant and respond to the needs of the people?
Okay. All right. So trend.
To remain relevant and respond to the needs of the people.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we have 4 questions. Okay, what strategies to implement diversity and inclusion in political party within their ranks? Currently, the strategy in the 2 leading political parties is totally. They just want to stay in office. It's not funny now. We heard what happened in Uniben yesterday when Barrister Olumide Akpata went for interactive session with the senior staff, with senior academic staff of Uniben. So he was harassed and all that by talks. So that is the current strategies that the leading political party, the 2 leading political parties are enjoying to stay relevant. And I don't know if there's an inclusion there or inclusion. I don't think they care about those 2 things. It's mainly the strategies to improvise the society, create more talks, create more offices for the Agberus, the nuisance in the community, people that are supposed to be reformed and become a productive citizen. So they want to keep them as nuisance and keep using them to win political office. So that is the strategies those two political parties are currently using. But let's leave them and let me answer your question. I think the strategies we have to ensure what I call merit-based politics. Merit-based politics ensure that we have excellence in the system, that even a teacher who knows, who has a better idea can come out and say, oh, I want to contest an election as a councillor, chairman, or governor, can become a president once this merit-based system is fully aligned. That, okay, these are the qualifications you must meet. First, you must have an ideology. So then sell your ideology to the party people, which are the registered card-carrying members of this political party. So when you are able to build a structure for yourself, and on the primary election, which is going to be free, fair, and transparent for everybody, there's no money involved, that we, the electorate, now understand that we have to donate to a candidate's account in order for him or her to pursue his or her political ambition or his ideology. Then the system will be, or let me use the word, a level playing field, which is the merit-based system. So when we are able to implement this merit-based system, anybody from anywhere, regardless of gender, regardless of qualification, and regardless of financial status, can come and contest and win an election. So that will address the issue of inclusivity and diversity in a political party. Ideology doesn't have to be that it's only a man that has the best idea. A woman can also have the best idea. A woman can also come and sell herself. Oh, this is what I want to do, and this is what I do. So in a nutshell, merit-based system is the best political ideology that is the best political strategy that a political party can use, that can address the issue of defranchising some people or not bringing everybody in at the same time. And then the issue of technology, as you mentioned, I'm very happy that when the chairman of CONDEM told me that CONDEM is working on so many things in order to bring transparency, to bring more transparency into the 2024 election. So what political party can do within themselves is for them to invest in technology. I am not a technical expert, so I just have an idea. So I'm only going to talk on the idea. So I wouldn't use technical language in this. So the political party first, to use technology, they first have to have a situation room. I think that is where many of us are lacking, that we are conducting elections. Many of us don't have a situation room. We don't even know the amount of votes we get in each unit, in each polling centers, and we don't have the overall number. And we cannot say this is the amount of vote I get in S, Y, and Z. Then INEC will now come out and say this is what you get. So we shouldn't allow INEC to tell us what we get. So we can have our own technology to track real-time voting. How do we do this? For instance, when I was contesting as the chairman of Ikpoba-Okha local government, I employed the use of technology. Very, very simple. I bought 2 laptops and powered it with IBM SPSS, which is a data collecting software. The IBM SPSS can collate the whole result of Ikpoba-Okha in less than 2 minutes. So that was exactly what we set up. So my situation room was in a hotel in the GRA there in Benin City. So the 2 laptops. So this is how this thing is supposed to work for us. For instance, the voting has stopped in Unit 1, Ward 5 in the Ikpoba-Okha local government. They send us a copy of the result. It can be through WhatsApp in any means. Then we just impute it on the system. We don't have to write anything. We just impute it, put it aside. So after imputing all the results from all police stations from each ward, in less than 2 minutes, we just collate. Then we'll have our results. From the three political parties. So political parties need to invest on these things, and they are not really expensive. I believe we have the knowledge, but one of the biggest challenges we have in Nigeria is we have the knowledge, but we don't have the application. So we don't apply what we learn. We learn how to speak big English, not the practical terms. So technology is very important. Getting a laptop that, even if it's just Microsoft Excel, can get a lot of these things done. Then in the field, in areas, in red areas like St. Xavier Primary School in Ikpoba-Okha local government, Ologbo-Shere in Ikpoba-Okha, and Western Boys, those are red areas. So in those areas, political parties should be able to have a drone, camera that can be recording situation and then be broadcasting it live. So everybody will see what is happening there in real time. I believe employing the use of technology like drones in recording real time and having computer software that can collate results in real time can help address some political issues in scam or tricks that they usually play in INEC. The measures party can take to ensure accountability in decision making process. This one involves hiring the best. So far, most of the Nigerian political parties are not opening their doors for the best of the best citizens to participate in the decision-making process. The relevant stakeholders do not participate in the decision-making process. One or two individuals make decision and just say everybody else fall in line. That is how this thing is being done. I know much about it now. In a local government, the L.G.A chairman, without consultation with his fellow working committees, can just make a decision and expect everybody to follow up with such a decision. So in order to bring accountability, a fair system, a transparent system, and a merit-based system also has to be ensured, must also have to be put in place. And the leaders of the political party must also encourage feedback. Currently, they don't. They believe in loyalty. Their loyalty is actually blind loyalty, that you just fall in line with whatever the leaders say, not actually what is good. I was in a meeting a few months ago when the political chairman, a state chairman really, said, I love my L.G.A chairman. They are very loyal. They carry out directives as given, even if there is fault in that directives. You see, he was praising them. It is only an individual that is blind that will just carry directives as given, even if there are faults in that directives. So to ensure accountability in the decision-making process, all relevant stakeholders must come on a roundtable talk. Everybody bring their ideas. Then these ideas are analyzed, and the best of the ideas or combination of these ideas are collated, and then use it to formulate a decision. That is how we will get the best for each political party. So adapt to democratic change, to demands, and to remain relevant to the needs of the people is actually listen to the yearnings of the people. Is actually to be on ground. Is actually knowing what the people want at a particular time. If we don't do positive feedback, but okay, let me use US as an example. Anywhere you go to, you are encouraged feedback. Even if you get on the airplane, please, we want to hear from you. When you do this, we want to hear from you. We don't do that in Nigeria. So in order to remain relevant, political parties must encourage feedback, especially at the grassroots level, which is the ward level. The ward level. So we should be able to go deep into the ward level to hear from the common citizens on the street. What exactly does the people does the people want at this point in time? So when we do this, encourage feedback, hear from people, encourage criticism, being it constructive or constructive, but to the content of that criticism, analyze, implement, political party will stay relevant for a very long time. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll allow Mr. Eghaghe's hand is up. I will take questions from him. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Elvis Brown. I want to first of all appreciate Dr. Mashido Eghaghe for all the enlightenment that we've had this evening. Basically, our discussion is centered on party building, nation building. You will recall that before now, we have been choked with the two twin parties of PDP and APC. And what we have had to done is having to choose between the two twin devil, whatever they give to us. But immediately after that came the Labour Party with the obedient force. And of course, coming with Peter Obi because of his track records and evidences of work. And the obedient movement that is critically made up of young people and who, of course, constitutes the highest demography of voters in the country are yearning for good governance. And we all thought that we were going to find that in the Labour Party. But as it is today, there seems to be no difference between the Labour Party and the other two twin devils, the PDP and the APC. So here, we are almost at a cross junction. What do you think we should do? Do we need another third party? Because definitely we need a third force that will be different from all of these people to be able to deliver good governance to our people. Because what we really need now, from all the examples that you have given, is good governance, attendance to the needs of the people, and ensuring that we're able to provide good life for the good people of Nigeria. So what's your thought on this, sir?
Thank you so very much, sir, for this elaborate question. I don't think we need another political party in Nigeria. So, like you have clearly articulated that we know the twin devil, the APC and the PDP, and it seems that Labour Party is no different. That kind of might be true. The reason why we cannot clearly say Labour Party is not different now is that Labour Party still has the same leaders as it were before obedience movement. And the obedience currently does not have any leadership role in the Labour Party, so I can tell you that. When Labour Party finally conducts Congress, we will see a new leadership into the party from the world level to the national level. So until that happens, we cannot really say Labour Party is more like the APC and the PDP. There are a lot of great people in Labour Party as we speak. An individual like me, an individual like Mr. Obi, who brought us into Labour Party. Mr. Obi has an impeccable character. That is why an individual like me joined politics. Until now, I was not a politician. I had no interest in politics. So there are plenty, millions of us who came into politics because of Peter Obi. And these millions of us have not been given the opportunity to take leadership position in the Labour Party. So we do believe, and I clearly believe, that once Congress is head in Labour Party, more people who are morally and ethically sound will take the mantle of leadership. So when these people who are morally and ethically sound take a mantle of leadership from a world level to the national level, we'll begin to see the differences between the Labour and APC and PDP. We'll begin to see that the ideology of Labour Party would emerge. We would even have leaders who would do better than Alessoti, that every one of us is currently praising, that is doing great things in Nigeria. So until then, we cannot really equate the Labour Party with APC or PDP. The only thing that is constant is change itself. So we've not really had a change in Labour Party. So until that changes comes, let us not just equate it with APC and PDP. Yes. So for now, I am still going to beg, let us keep trusting the Labour Party. Let us keep building the party. It's a major thought force. Again, the question is party building and nation building. Can we separate them? No, we cannot separate them. Let us build the Labour Party to the party of our dreams. Once it is built, we are already having good electors like Alex Oti. We will even have better candidates emerging under the Labour Party. Then they will be able to carry out the ideology of the party. Thank you so much. I'm done with that question, so I could take the next, or if there's a follow-up or comment on that question, please.
Yes, thank you so very much, sir, for your response on that. We'll go ahead with taking more questions. I think our anchor man is having some network problem, but let's take question from Mazi Okoye. Mazi Okoye, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Eghaghe. I really like and appreciate your elaboration with regards to the how you started with the party building and nation building. However, I would like to have your insight and opinion with regards to the idea of building something on nothing, or building something on faulty foundation. Where I'm headed is with regards to the Nigerian Constitution, because that document itself is pervasive. It's not a document that you actually build something that we are looking for in Nigeria on, because that document it's the foundation of how politics is played in Nigeria. It's quite little wonder that political parties are, lack ideology, because the constitution itself is non-ideological. It's completely opposite to anything good with, good governance or, social good. So how do you go about, having a ideological political party where the guiding principle that parties should be built on is not there? How would you achieve that? Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, sir. Make I shock you small. Israel, you know Israel, right? Yeah, currently at war with Palestine. Has no constitution. Are you aware of that?
I'm aware of that, yes. Not written, but like the United Kingdom here, they don't have a written constitution, but they do have laws.
Thank you.
They have made laws that guide them rather than a constitution.
Thank you. So I am glad you and I agree on that. Israel has no written constitution. The United Kingdom has no written constitution. Yet things are working. On the other hand, Nigeria has a constitution, even though it is not working. So the reason why I had to quickly take you into those two countries is that is that it is not the constitution that, in my belief, this is my personal opinion, though that is why I have to take it to Israel and UK first, that our problem is not really the faulty constitution that we have. I do believe that we have something worse. What I usually call now, we have mental health issues in Nigeria. We don't follow laws, regardless if it's a constitution or laws or regulation. We Nigerians do not follow laws. We don't follow traffic laws. We don't obey traffic laws. We engage. We just do whatever is on our mind, whatever comes to our mind. We don't read to pass examination. We just want to pass. We have somebody sit in our in examination hall for us and write the exam for us. I don't know if you are getting my point. So in this building something from nothing or just starting afresh, it has nothing to do with the constitution of Nigeria at all, but everything to do with us as the common citizen of the country. Who is, for instance, let's assume now the constitution is our problem. Who is going to amend this constitution? It's you and I that will amend this constitution. Every 4 years, we elect a new set of senators who go to Abuja. What do? They go there and represent their own selfish interests. Every 4 years, we elect House of Rep. What do? They don't talk about this constitution. They don't amend this constitution. Nigeria in itself is an expired country. It expired in 2014. In 2014, the amalgamation of Nigeria was to be tested for 100 years, which expired in 2014. What are our senators and House of Rep doing? Are they trying to chart a new contract? No. So to me, it's not really about this constitution. It is more about us as a people. So now let me now buttress this down to the political party, as you have said, because the foundation of the country, which is the constitution, is not good, that the political party really don't have anything to build upon. They can build without having a clear constitution, without good or bad constitution. If Israel can build, they have political parties in Israel. They just had an election which the current minister Netanyahu won. If UK can have good political structure without a written down constitution, I believe Nigeria can do the same if we have the willpower to do it. But we are lacking the willpower to do the right things. If you look at these three major political parties in Nigeria, they have a very, very good foundation. Foundation, I mean constitution. But are the leaders of the party, are the officials of the party, and the candidates which emerge from these three leading political parties, are they following the constitution of their party in discharging service to the people? The answer is no, sir. They don't even follow their party's constitution. So if we cannot fix ourselves now, I mean on the macro level, then we cannot really talk about the macro level, which is now the Nigeria's constitution. So let's focus more on the macro, on the micro, which is the party's constitution, aligning, abiding, and enforcing, implementing the party's constitution. Then before we can begin to say, okay, let us talk about the Nigeria's constitution. The Nigeria constitution in this instance is the nation building. So let us get the party on right first, that all our candidates abide to the constitution of the party. If we are able to get that right, then send good candidates into Abuja who will be bold enough to say this constitution is faulty, this 1999 constitution, which is the military constitution, is faulty. We can no longer use this constitution. It needs overall amendment. Then we can begin to have that discussion. Today, none of the Congress people that we have in Abuja are talking about constitutional amendment. They are only doing cosmetics. For instance, look at the local government election that was held in Edo State, where the constitution, I don't know what Obasanjo did with that, and I paired the local government with the state account that governors cannot do whatever they like. Election was not held in Edo State. Nobody voted. Yet we have city chairmen in all the 18 local governments in Edo State. What are our senators doing about that? It was never mentioned in the National Assembly. Did we not have senators from Edo State? Of course we do. We even have a Labour senator from Edo South. We have an APC senator from Edo Central. I believe, I don't know who we have from Edo North, but we have 3 distinguished senators from Edo State, and we have House of Reps from Edo State. Did they even say anything about it at the National Assembly? Not to my knowledge. So the people that we are sending there are not interested in the greater good of the society. So that is where the problem comes. So if these senators and House of Rep members are really on ground, listening to the cry of the people, going to Abuja and be making that noise, lobbying within themselves to make sure that certain bills are passed that will bring that will bring good governance to the people who will begin to see great things happening in Nigeria. As it is today, I don't believe constitution is our problem. The biggest challenge we have is a willpower to do the right thing at the right time. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Really appreciate. I'm not sure there's any other hand up. Okay, someone is here. Okay, Dr. Masha is showing appreciation for asking a question. All right, so in the absence of that, I would like to quickly ask you another question, sir. You invested so much in the party when you were contesting. We have that data of your investment in the party, and so also other aspirants. The question I want to ask you is that, do you think the party has invested in itself the way individuals have invested in the party? We're talking about the party now, talking about the executives of the party. Do you think they have invested in the party the way others, aspirants and individuals, are invested in the party?
The short answer there is no. Capital letter, no. That's based on my knowledge. So let me use myself as an example. As an aspirant, I came into Labour Party through the obedient movement. I wasn't interested in politics when I came in, so I was only interested in building the third force, which can challenge the two evils, the APC and the PDP. It is my contribution towards the development of the party that made the ward chairman of my local government, Ikpoba-Okha, to say, sir, please come and take this ticket. So you are the person we need at this time. So that was how I became a politician. And to date, I am still investing in the party, building my community. Most recently, a few weeks ago, I also engaged in transforming some communities in Ikpoba-Okha local government, providing palliatives to few roads and evacuating debris from Oregmeni community, a place for, according to the residents there, for the past 12 years, those debris have not been lifted, and it was causing a health hazard. So all these things I am doing is to bring more people, what is the word I'm looking for? Is to bring more attention into Labour Party for people to know what Labour Party stands for. That is the party for Papa, Mama, Pikin, and the party who would respond to the needs of Papa, Mama, Pikin in the society. On the other hand, now the party executives that you said, not to my knowledge, I have never seen, I have never read from the national to the L.G.A level what any party executive has done. With their own personal resources, I have never heard it. I have never read it. I've never seen pictures. Zero, I have not. But we've seen aspirants. For instance, Barrister Olumide Osaigbo-Akpata, when he was an aspirant in one of the Edo Central schools, he renovated the whole school, gave them a generator, boreholes, chairs, and bought over 20 vehicles for the political party, all the L.G.As now have mobility, and some party executives in the state, and some committees now have vehicles in order to grow the party. And same individual donated, I don't know how many thousands of chairs, but plenty chairs. That's each L.G.A in those states got, if I'm not mistaken, the states got 1,000 chairs. I think the L.G.A got 200, don't quote me on that. And each ward got 100. So
300.
that is part of, okay, thank you. So that is party building. That is him contributing his own fair share in building the party. I cannot say that for any of the party officials and the party leaders at it well. Now that this issue just came up, I believe the party leaders will have access to this video. Maybe they should educate us of what they are doing. Maybe they are taking the biblical approach. Make left hand not know what the right hand they do. Make right hand not know what the left hand they do. But in politics, left must know what the right is doing. Right must know what the left is doing. And also, there's no secret in politics because you cannot do it alone. Once 2 or 3 are there, seeing what you are doing, the information would definitely come out. So to summarize, I am not aware, I have not read, I have not seen any vital, notable contribution of party officials and party leaders' contribution to party building. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Dr. Masha, your hand was up. We are rounding up.
Yeah. Yes. Let me, a quick one, please, Dr. Mashido. I so admire the way you respond to our questions. And finally, the only last question I want to give is about our initiatives and our policies. What policies and initiatives are necessary to strengthen institutions and uphold the rule of law, ensuring justice and fairness for all citizens? What is your take? Thank you.
Dr. Masha, finally, I don't hear your voice. Now, so long test I see from you. How are you, sir?
We thank the Lord. God bless you.
Yes, this initiative is long. Currently in Nigeria, sir, we don't have institution in Nigeria. We just have cosmetics.
Very well.
For instance, yes. For instance, we have everything. We have everything they have in abroad. We have the police. We have the military. And we have hospitals. And we have everything. But are they functioning?
Yes.
The answer is no. So you are asking me what initiatives do we need to employ in order to strengthen these institutions and make sure that they work, right? Is that the summary of your question?
Yes. For upholding the rule of law and ensuring justice and fairness for all citizens.
Okay, upholding the rule of law. Let us start from there, sir. That one starts from you and I. Yeah, that one starts from you and I. We the parents. I am an advocate for a parental course in Nigeria. We should be teaching parental skills right from secondary school in Nigeria. We don't have parenting skills in Nigeria. We just raise our children anyhow. I'm sorry to say. We raise our children like vegetables. These are our children that we are raising. It's not going to be our leaders tomorrow. So when parents are breaking the laws right in the front of their children, so what do you think? What kind of lesson are you teaching your children? I am from Ikpoba-Okha local government. I am only emphasizing on the rule of law now. Then before we go into the other many things, I'm from Ikpoba-Okha local government. Whenever I am driving, especially at Adesuwa Road and Saple Road, I obey traffic laws. You go see the way people go the home for my back on the red light. They would take the other side. They would just go to my left or right and frank their face on me. Some will even roll down and say, Ovasabi, Ogunki, abusing me for just obeying a simple traffic light that says stop. I believe I believe everyone here may have experienced what I am saying. So all those little petty things. For instance, majority of Nigerian drivers, even though I don't have the data, but I can conveniently say over 90% of us do not wear seatbelts when we drive. When we see road safety, we quickly wear our seatbelt. So all these things our children, that is the fact. So all these things we are doing, our children are seated with us. They are watching. One day I was taking my daughter to school, Word of Faith, that was where she was there at the time. There was a police roadblock. I gave them all particulars. The policeman is still looking at me. I understand the language. Then I had to tell her, say, sir, I have my daughter in the car. She's 10 years old. You can't be doing this morning. I was upset now. So that is, you see a child, you can't be expecting me to give you anything when you see there is a child in my car. Everything is correct in my vehicle. No, the point I'm trying to make is, hey, since he saw a child in my car, he checked all the particulars, everything else. But he could have just acted professional. Oh, thank you, sir. Enjoy your day. I don't know if you get my point. So this is where the rule of law, breaking the rule of law, this is where it starts. From you and I. We don't raise our children well. Imagine your children, my child is writing primary 6 exam, which is the common entrance exam. We are teaching them how to cheat in examination hall instead of preparing them to actually write that examination. At that very infantry, we are teaching them that you don't have to do the right thing to get ahead. All you need to do is cut corners and get ahead. They are monitoring the process. I was a little child, like 8 or 9 years old. Whenever my mommy take me to the bank, she doesn't stay on the queue. She knows somebody upstairs. She will take me there. Within 5 minutes, we are done and we leave. When I grew up to when I was 23 years old, the person was still working at First Bank at Ring Road. Do I need to stay on the queue? No, I go straight to her. She will process my stuff, call one of the cashier, give me the money, I leave. So you see how the breakdown of rule of law started. It starts from you and I, how we parent our children. So we are sending the wrong messages to our children. So for we to get the rule of law right, let's forget about government now. Let's just push the searchlight on us. Let's begin to raise our children right. Let's begin to be morally and ethically correct while we are with our children. Then they will begin to learn the right things. For instance, I have two children that I am raising. I don't cross the road until it says walk. That is what I do when my children are with me. If it says walk, I walk. If it says stop, I stop. But when they are not with me, I do all the stupid things in the world. So let's raise our children right so they can begin to see this is how my daddy and mommy do it. So I would like to follow the right process. These same children that I'm talking about are the leaders of tomorrow. So when they know the right things, right from the infantry, when they become political leaders and ultimately become governors or presidents in the near future, they will uphold the same standard that the parents have embedded on them. So that is yeah. So can you rephrase the question again? I just elaborated on the rule of law. I cannot forget the other two things.
Okay, let's allow for Mountain of Fire. I don't know who that is. Mountain of Fire to ask the question while we quickly conclude. Yes.
Hello, thank you, sir. Thank you for the obedience and the labors. My name is Pastor Nosa. So, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Pastor Nosa. How are you today?
I'm fine, sir. Dr. Mashido, we talk about monetary politics. Right to say, when somebody is coming to power, maybe you want to be a candidate, or the statesman or the elderly man, if they say, fix my car, or you see one of my roof is damaged, please can you help me to just fix it? Not only the elders, when we come from the grassroots, like the local level or the world level, before you start sitting down with you alone, there will be expecting something from you. We are in the wide world. I think many of us here in the wide world. Some part of Europe, they don't even pay to campaign. Government finances for them. And whenever they are in the meeting, you don't even see drink on the table. They only take water if it is necessary. Now, it's more or less like a virus now in Nigeria, because many people are not taking politics as occupation in Nigeria. In abroad, if you are being president or a minister in any given opportunity, when they retire, they go back to school. If some of them are being a teacher or a lecturer, they go back to school and start their work there and retire again. But in our own side, when you become a politician or even a councillor or whatever, you continue. Now, I think this is a virus that has already entered our community or our country. Do you think this virus will be here at a point of time in any way? Because you talked about Akpaka the other time, which I saw by myself in the television, that bought a car out of the European local government. I think I saw the Sienna that day. And maybe other money follows, which I may not see. Now, if Akpaka get there now, maybe after spending 250 million naira or 300 million naira, do you think it's going to just let it go like that, just as you said? They have to wait for the money and combine with interest. This virus, that is where I'm going. Do you think it's a thing that will easily go in that our country? Because it's in every sector, everywhere, both the learned and the illiterate, everybody are failing it. Just as you said, when you are in red light, even me, when I'm in red light, I try to stop. You will see even some will badge your car and say, what are you doing? What's your problem? This and that. Nobody cares anymore. In Nigeria, even though the country law is not working, individual law is working. Especially when they see that maybe your car, the car is bringing is higher than your own. You want to try to intimidate you. Or you feel that you have a small body, is fatter than you want to try to intimidate you physically also. So do you think all this thing will end soon in Nigeria? Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Lusa, for this elaborate question. No, it's not going to end soon. Rome was not built in one day, but we can begin to lay the foundation. For instance, if somebody like Mr. Peter Obi becomes the president of Nigeria, he is going to work with ethically and morally correct individuals. So when you put the right people in the right places, they will begin to enforce laws. For instance, if I had won, or if the election were to be conducted in the last local government election in Edo State, there are things I wanted to put in order that would bring sanity into the system. For instance, like those traffic lights that we just mentioned. How much is it to buy a red light camera? It's not expensive. The technologies are here already. It's everywhere in the United States. It's just to match them, put a roadblock far. So whoever breaks the law, you don't make the penalty to be very big. Today, you break a law in Nigeria, the penalty is very big. So that is why the people who are to enforce the law can easily just take 5,000 or 10,000 naira from the person who breaks the law, instead of going to the road safety office and pay over 100,000. You make it very small, like 2,500 for first offense. So, for instance, the individual keep breaking the law in a month, the government is able to take over 15,000 from him. It can't get sense that way. So that is how systematically we'll begin to re-educate and redirect the attention of the people from doing wrongs into doing the right thing. As it is now, because there is no enforcement in Nigeria, that is why everybody keep doing whatever they are doing. So that is on the side of the law. So now let me dive into the political aspect, like you said, that is becoming a virus that every individual expects, and if this will end soon. We can actually end that one in one political season if the right candidate is elected. For instance, Barrister Olumide Osabowo wins the election and becomes the governor of Edo State, and make sure that proper mechanisms are in place to assist the federal government. The laws are already there in INEC. The laws are there, but they are not just being enforced. Parties are not supposed to be buying votes. Parties are not supposed to be paying delegates before elections, before primary elections. These things are not supposed to be done. But because it is being done and nothing is, the government is just aloof. Government is not doing anything about it. So then what? Election violence, we see what is happening every year. People fight, people break their heads. The videos are everywhere on YouTube. How many has DSS, the Nigerian police, or all the law enforcement agencies in the country prosecuted? Zero. So when we keep rewarding bad behavior, so the bad behavior will keep growing. So that is where we find ourselves. So we can actually stop these party leaders and all these people accepting bribe behind closed door in one political season. How do we do it? I think we should just get rid of these indirect primaries and consensus candidates. We should just take it off I don't know if it is a constitution. The people at the National Assembly, like I said, are aloof. They are not doing anything. They can amend the Electoral Act and say there is nothing like indirect primaries and consensus candidates anymore. Let everybody go to the field. That is how this thing is done in America. There is no consensus candidate. If somebody want to step down, it's fine. If somebody don't want to step down, every one of them go to the field in the primary election. They go to the grassroots campaign just as we do in the general election, campaign to their party people, and then on the day of the primary, the people go to their various polling units and cast their votes. So once that one is done, that direct primaries, it will begin to reduce the influence of party leaders asking for millions of naira or all kind of gratuities before they support a certain candidate. Additionally, though, any candidate that is found breaking the law during the process of offering bribes or maybe giving minerals or meat pie or whatever as it were, will be automatically be disqualified. Once one or two candidates are used as a scapegoat or maybe as an example, you see every other persons in the race and future elections will fall in line. But because we are not persecuting anybody, because we are not holding anybody accountable, so the wrongs in the society becomes a norm. And once it becomes a norm, majority of the people now think this is how these things are done, and they just follow suit. So to get it right is for us to follow the rules and regulations already laid, already written and agreed. Until we have the willpower to do that, we are just wasting our time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mashido. It has been an amazing moment with you today. We really appreciate you. I want you to give us your final word while we round up. Your final word.
Thank you so much, man. I want to encourage everyone here to please support my guy. Speak to 5 people, encourage 5 people to speak to another 5 people. That was how I did my campaign. So not just, speak to 5 people, have them speak to another 5 people, use Governor Oti of Abia State as an example that better days are coming. I happen to know my guy, Barrister Olumide Osabovo, personally, because I have been to his house many times. He calls me and I call him. The guy will work. That one not be joke. Make I rephrase. So make an answer with you, Pastor Osato, just now. Where you say, with all this money that he's spending, if it's not most likely going to recuperate them, I can tell you, with what I have known about Tolu, that the answer is no. The man believes in legacy. In once, just as he did at the Nigeria Bar Association, leaving the Bar Association account with 1.5 billion naira. He would balance the budget of Edo State. He would not necessarily recuperate all that he's spending because he believes in in legacy. So on my final take, I want to ensure and I want to plead with everybody that we should learn to abide with the rules and regulations. That is one of the things that is lacking in Nigeria. We don't respect Constitution, what we say and what we do, always on the opposite direction. So let us be ethically and morally correct. Let us match our actions with our words. Thank you for this great opportunity. It has been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure having you. We hope.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ellis Brown, and thank you very much, Dr. Mashido Eghaghe. It has been an interesting time this evening. What we have been able to establish here tonight is it is not possible to build a nation without being a party.
Yes. In
the coming weeks, we'll be looking at how we are going to achieve that, considering that there is this very serious appetite for a third force within our political system, where we have come to want to assume that Labour Party will give us that platform. But from what I see now, from the obedient front, we don't know. But in the coming days, we'll be looking at the Labour Party constitution and we'll be looking at the obedient movement. And we'll see how we can have an all-inclusive process for all of it. Because the obedient movement has actually brought the Labour Party to limelight as it is today. So let us see how we can collaborate together and make this work. Because what we want is good governance for our people, a new Nigeria for everybody. We want to also enjoy what you guys enjoy in the diaspora, a good system, a system where everything works. Thank you very much, everyone, for your time today. So we hope to see you again next week, Saturday. We'll be having another section. I'll be having other guests on the program. So good night, everyone, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.